So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD and welcome to a very exciting Black Ops 4 Zombies video, a video that I've been wanting to make ever since I was at the reveal event 2 days ago, and we're going to be talking about everything that you didn't know about Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, of course, as we know, this is the 10-year anniversary of the original Zombies, and Black Ops 4 is going to debut completely new and unprecedented Zombies experience that's the biggest day one offering in Call of Duty history, with 3 fully featured Zombies experiences at launch on the disc: 9, Voyage of Despair, and Blood, with immersive new adventures, new cast of characters, and a nefarious new enemy. This Zombies game is going to feature the deepest gameplay and Easter eggs that we love, and it will include the most customizable action to date, new systems for creating community challenges, and social systems designed to connect everyone together. There's difficulty levels, there's a new in-game tutorial to get on board new players into the universe, and giving hardcore players like us the option of ratcheting up the challenge, and there's also a new mode that streamlines the gameplay experience. Now, this was all things we learned at the reveal on Thursday, but me and a small group of YouTubers were allowed access to a Zombies press roundtable with Jason Blundell and Craig Houston to basically fire any questions within reason that they didn't answer already, for us to basically pick their brains and find out everything new about Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, I made a video yesterday talking specifically about the things we learned about Mob of the Dead and its remake, not a remaster, a remake, Blood of the Dead. If you didn't find that video yesterday in your sub box, what are you doing? It's linked down below in the description or as a interactive card. Go watch that right now. But within this video, we're talking about secrets that no one has heard before. Very exciting stuff indeed. So if you're hyped for Black Ops 4 Zombies, make sure you absolutely demolish that thumbs up button. Leave me all your thoughts down below on what you think of this information, and let's jump straight into it. So, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, Black Ops 4 Zombies marks the beginning of a brand new storyline with new characters, and the main menu for Zombies is going to be split into 2 sections, for the old story and the new story. So when we get this game on October 12th, we've got Voyage of Despair, which is set aboard the RMS Titanic, an iconic and monumental setting where our 4 protagonists discover the truth that befell the doomed passengers on that fateful night. And then we also have 9, which is set in ancient Rome, which thrusts our 4 new characters into a coliseum where ritual sacrifices may be required. Now, of course, with there being both new and old storyline options within the main menu, we asked, is there an option, or, you know, is it likely that we're going to see 2 maps per DLC, one being the new storyline and one with the old? And they said they're not talking about the season pass right now, but there'll be more to talk about at Comic-Con. So they also briefly mentioned as well about how there's so much more customization, including the Zombies Authenticity Tag, which is a code that you enter onto a website that will tell you the details of a specific Zombies game you played and the custom options used in it. It's basically used to make sure that people don't cheat their way to a high round or any other achievements in Zombies. So rather than you having to use your Elgato to record literally round 1 to the highest round that you got to, or whatever challenge you're doing, rather than having a real person sit through all of that, this will do it all for you. The authenticity tag is going to be such a useful thing in the future for like claiming, you know, world's firsts, world record speed runs, and all sorts of different modified challenges like that. They also mentioned that they've greatly increased the maximum round count, and when I say greatly, they say and like literally massively increased the maximum round count. So if you guys don't know too much about the technical aspects of Black Ops 3 Zombies, the highest round you can get to on that game is 255, and it's not always a given that you can get to that high of a round on all of the maps. Some of the more complex maps definitely don't let you get to 255, but we asked for specifics on the customization options because, you know, you can change absolutely everything, and we're going to get more into detail on that as we get through, because I'm basically telling you guys this in the order in which these questions were answered to us. But they mentioned one of the customization options is the ability to make it round 1 forever. So essentially, we could have, well, I guess the example that Syndicate asked was, could it be a bit like the No Man's Land on Moon, where essentially it's just infinite spawning zombies and, you know, the round never ends? And it didn't really comment too much on that, but if you can make it round 1 forever, then you've got round 1 health zombies forever. Would probably make the game quite easy, but you'd never be able to progress, especially if there's Easter egg steps that require the round to go on, then you wouldn't be able to do that. Now, of course, they mentioned as well that this is like the most customizable and like the most up-to-date experience that we're ever going to have, and that is a new thing called callings, and this is going to give us daily, weekly, and monthly engagement. They didn't really go into specifics on this, but I would honestly assume that this would be a similar thing to how Fortnite do their limited time modes, where Treyarch are going to introduce their own official limited time modes in Zombies, where they're going to reward us for participating in these callings and other systems, but they didn't go into detail on any of that stuff at the moment. There was a lot of people that were confused about the Roman map 9 being like a small bonus map, because the intro cutscene cinematic makes it look like it's just set in a small coliseum, but they said that this is not just a small bonus map, it's a distinct part of the storyline, and it's just as important as Voyage of Despair. And they also said that the 3 maps are created for different playstyles through their use of space. They said that 9 will be for people who like more open spaces, which means that there is far more rooms than just the main Coliseum arena. They even said that when we're in the roundtable. They said there's so much more to the map than just that cutscene section there. They said that Voyage is a map for people who like tighter spaces, but they emphasized that all of the maps within Black Ops 4 Zombies, even Blood of the Dead, all these maps are big, but Voyage of Despair is the biggest map. I didn't ask, and it'll probably be a really good comparison to say, is it as big as like a map like Transit, for example? Probably not, but with them emphasizing it, it sounds like it's going to be one of the biggest Zombies maps that we've ever seen. And of course, the Titanic is not a small ship by any means. It's absolutely friggin' huge. And also, like I said earlier, they said there's a lot more to 9 than what we saw in the trailer. Now, they said the new story is something that they've had planned from the beginning. We tried to get specifics on like the time frame of this, like did they have the idea of this new story back in like Mob of the Dead, for example, and they said essentially yes, they've had this idea for these new characters and this new storyline since they basically took the reins of Zombies back during Black Ops 2 Zombies DLC development, which is really, really exciting. They also said that there's a finite number of universes within Zombies, so like in the timeline that we saw, that's basically like maybe 3 or 4 universes, so the we made a point that the idea of there being, you know, different universes and dimensions essentially opens the doors to like infinite possibilities for them to rewrite the story and do loads of crazy things, and it's the best thing that Treyarch have ever done for the story. But they said that, you know, as useful as it is, there's only a finite number of universes in Zombies. I'm not gonna overstretch the mark and make it like a thing that will literally just go on forever and ever and ever. Now, of course, a lot of people are expecting like there to be, you know, constant DLC when we do get the DLC to be new storyline maps and old storyline maps, but they said that the main focus is going to be all on the new story. Now, that's not to say that the old storyline maps still going to wield into this new story, and I honestly feel like these two storylines are going to like merge together very nicely in some way, shape, or form. There's so many references to do with the old storyline, like during the Voyage of Despair trailer, the one of the characters has a stopwatch on 115, for example. There's even a company that made the safe in Voyage of Despair, which is the same company we see in Shadows of Evil. Some people thinking that they might be linked. There's reasons to believe it and reasons to not, in my opinion. I won't really delve into that, but it's still fun to speculate nonetheless. Now, within all of these customization experiences as well, there's also mutations, which are in all of the maps. It's a system-wide feature, so no matter what happens going forwards, you know, they will also always have this mutation system where, you know, you can modify things, and it basically will be like a modified version of Zombies that's going to be different to how you can do it within customizing it yourself. Now, the really interesting thing and the wording here is that they said no matter what maps were to come back, they would also have that system. I don't know if that was a slip of the tongue there and them suggesting that perhaps we might see other maps returning to Black Ops 4 Zombies besides just Mob of the Dead, and in future DLC to continue on the old storyline, they just keep remaking or remastering old Zombies maps. I really don't know how much, strength that holds. I mean, if that is the case, then it's time to get freaking excited, my boys, because there's a possibility that more old maps could be remastered and come back. They also mentioned that the Alchemy stuff is all in the new story. All that Alchemy stuff is not going to be present within the old storyline or any of the maps which involve the premise crew or anything else. We asked about Gobblegums and they said that they're not talking about those yet, but they do go on to talk about how the features, whatever they do decide to put in, if it is Gobblegums or something completely different but still along the same lines of Gobblegum, they said that those features can be disabled with mutations. So if you don't want to play with the I guess we'll call them consumables for now, because it's quite obvious they're going to have them in the game. If you don't want to play with the consumables, then those can be disabled within mutations to make the game harder for yourself. Because we brought up a point that, gumballs like Perkaholic and everything were really overpowered in Black Ops 3 Zombies and basically took away a lot of the challenge. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree, it made for a lot of different gameplay decisions and choices and ways to play, but it did make the experience a hell of a lot easier. So they said, you know what, that can all be disabled as well. Now, we also were like, what's the point in making the game harder for ourselves? What are we going to get for that? And they said that they're going to talk more about the rewards for making the game harder for yourself later on. And we also mentioned as well that there are now AI bots. So if you're playing on solo, you can have bots play with you, so you get that storyline experience of all the characters talking to each other. And what's really funny is that they said during testing, they had the AI bots programmed with the knowledge on how to complete the Easter eggs within the map, but they've completely disabled that now because they said the bots can't do Easter egg steps because it was far too easy when they did know the Easter egg steps. You literally play the map and these bots would just be doing all the steps without you even realizing. And what they mentioned as well, which is really interesting, is with the new systems now that they can have literally bots play the whole of the zombies maps, so a physical person doesn't actually have to play them. So the bots can just go in and they have the knowledge of what normal zombie players would do in situations and be able to hold their own and watch how the maps play out. So the testing is a little bit easier on that half for them now because they have all these different bots. A big thing that people have been going crazy about is that the new map 9, the cutscene makes it look like there is no weapons besides melee weapons, which is not the case at all. They said that, of course, the map 9, as well as Voyage of Despair, will have guns. So there will be weapons, guns, all that great stuff, but it also looks like there's going to be some melee weapons as well. They said as well, because we were like, are you surprised that you've shown us so much already? And they went, they're willing to show so much at the reveal because there's still a lot more to come. These 3 maps aren't really even the start of the show, which is absolutely insane. When it comes to the modifiers as well, we asked for specifics because they mentioned that you can customize the mystery box. We asked can we select which weapons will appear in the mystery box, so we can only get the best weapons out of the box instead of waiting on just random chance. And they were very cryptic, but their simple wording was you will be able to have control of the mystery box. So whatever that means, I guess that's the case. And the final thing that we learned, which is going to round everything up, is that they hope that, and this is going to be something which they're going to work on really heavily, is that new weapons added to multiplayer throughout the Black Ops 4 season will be added to zombies around the same time now. They know that it's important and it really changes up the feel and gameplay of the maps. So going forwards, they're going to make sure that all the weapons that are added into multiplayer throughout the season will be added into zombies at the same time. Holy crap, that is a lot of information. If there was anything in this video which you did not know before, then drop a thumbs up. I'd love to gauge how much info was brand new to you guys that you've never heard before. And like I said in all my videos, and I'll reiterate it again, if you guys haven't already subscribed with notifications turned on, this is going to be your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about Black Ops 4 Zombies between now and the release, and even further in the future from that. I will try my hardest to get you guys as much information as possible, as early as possible, and I'll keep you guys updated with any new info that gets released leading up to the release of Black Ops 4 Zombies. But the next time that we should hear information about it in a big way is going to be San Diego Comic-Con. They didn't really mention it fully outright, but behind closed doors, they did say that Comic-Con is where they're going to be revealing a lot more things, including the collector's editions. They wouldn't tell us what it was, but they said it was very useful and something which they are going to be using themselves. So I guess brainstorm as much as you want. But thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I appreciate the support so much on all the videos over the course of this week. Continue the support and I will keep churning out the videos for you guys as quickly as I possibly can. But thank you so much for watching. You've been so fantastic, and I'll catch you on another one very, very soon.